many people cannot afford rent anymore. So what about living in one of these tiny houses? The average price for renting a one-bedroom in the United States is $1,559 a month. Who did that? The average mortgage is $2,200 a month. These prices vary a bit from state to state, but man, these are some crazy times. If you're locked into a mortgage that you got years ago and you're only paying around $800 a month, you better keep it. I remember my first apartment only costed me $335 a month. So how do we get around this? Well, are you interested in a tiny house? What about living in an RV? People have resorted to living in RV parks now. The only problem with this is now even the RV parks are charging $500 to $1,000 a month just to park your little camper there. It's best to have your own small piece of land with no restrictions. If you can find land with no restrictions and it's in a county that is very laxed on their codes, you might just be in luck. So what about living in one of these tiny houses? What about turning something like this into a home? Something like this could be the break that you're looking for. This thing is fully insulated already and it has electric wire around also. The total on this one shows to be right at $15K. This one is a 14 by 24. If you paid on this for 2 years, it would cost you $1,056 a month. You could spread it out to 7 years at $549 a month, but I absolutely do not advise that. Yeah, the interest on that is crazy if you paid out for that many years. But think about it, $1,000 a month for just 2 short years? Unless you can just save up the money and pay cash on one of these. It's starting to rain outside here, so I come to sit in the truck, but you have to ask yourself, could I really turn something like this into a home? I bought a piece of land for $39,000. I put a 10% down payment on it, which was $3,900. I made payments on it for just 10 years and now I own it. Now keep in mind, not every state is like this and not every county is like this. Some counties have restrictions where you can only have a house that's bigger than 600 square feet. I know a lot of time that the cities and the government claims that it's for safety reasons, but let's be real here. I think it's more about money and the taxes that they can collect. Now, you know they make these things fully finished on the inside, and you need to be careful and watch out who you actually buy these from, because some of these places are all about sales. You'll see that the companies that sell mobile homes have now gotten into the tiny home business. The only problem is they're $90,000 tiny homes. So in that case, you're going to have the same problem. You end up getting onto a 30-year note, just like you would if you bought a house. Pay one of these tiny homes off in just 2 years or 3 years or, God forbid, 7 years if you have to. It's way cheaper to buy something like this that's a shell. And if you have any type of experience in carpentry or do it yourself, you can do like I did and just kind of slowly build on it as the years go by. Check out this one. This is just a 12 by 24. This place is called General Shelters. It looks like the total on this one is $13,000. And if you make the payments on it, it looks like it's $488 a month. This one actually has the true plywood floors, and it looks like it's also coming with a moisture barrier. You're going to have some type of down payment. The lady in here told me the total cost of this house here is $44K. That's not bad for a one-bedroom, fully finished interior. It's a little dark in here, but here's the bathroom. It's kind of a large bathroom. This thing is a 16 by 30. It has a kitchen sink with cabinets, 2 windows here in the kitchen, a place to put your refrigerator, a place to put your washer and dryer, and that's it. It's kind of simple, but hey, $44,000 for a brand new 1-bedroom house, you really can't beat that. Well, at least you have some idea of how to get into a tiny home now. But what about a piece of land? Let's talk about land. A piece of land seems to be one of the hardest things to acquire now, but is there still a way to get land when you don't have good credit or you don't have a large down payment? Let me tell you what I did 10 years ago. Now, I know that this process is still available. I know that it can still be done. I was trying to find a piece of land that I was going to be able to hunt on for sure. Not only that, I was also looking for a place to bug out if needed. So I found 30 acres that was for sale for $39,000. They wanted 10% down, and then I could pay the rest out over a 10-year period. So I did. I put $3,900 down, and I made around $500 a month payments for the next 10 years. If this sounds like you, then you're probably watching the right video. So the day I made the down payment on my land, I was able to go to my land and access it and do whatever I wanted to do on it. And then eventually I brought a fifth wheel camper out there and I basically turned it into a deer camp. My property was in the mountains and it was so far away from any power lines or water lines, I knew it was going to have to be an off-grid property. So I decided to do rain catchment for water and install a solar system for electricity. So before you know it, I had my first solar system powering up my RV. At first I had to use the generator a lot because I didn't size my system correctly. But as the years went by, I resized the system and things got much better. So you don't have to be an electrician or a builder or anything like that by trade. But if you're like me and you're a do-it-yourself guy or a jack of all trades and a master of none, that's about all you need to be able to pull this off. Now I do know that you're not going to find unrestricted land in every state. And I do know you're not going to find unrestricted land in every county. So you have to do your research, and you may have to even relocate if it's truly something that you want to do. Me, I wanted to do it because I wanted the security of having a backup place to live. It works good for me, and it could work good for you if you can find a piece of land to put one of these tiny houses on. I'm giving you good ideas here and a good place to start. Just make sure that you pick a good state to do this in, a good county to do it in, and that you follow all the local laws. You don't want the government coming down on you when you work so hard to build your homestead. I'm going to give you a quick list of everything that I did myself. I cleared my land. I built my own solar. I built my own rainwater catchment. I had my tiny house moved into my property. I built my roads. I built a gate, put up fencing on my property. I've been doing all the work on the inside of my house. I installed all the wiring and the insulation in my house, the breaker box. I ran the wiring from the solar array to the house. I built the pump house so I could pressurize up my water and have running water in the house. There's so many other do-it-yourself things that I did that you can do also. Like I said, people are just burnt out paying rent so high. Some people are desperately looking for a way out. Some people are looking to build a future. I know everybody's way is different. I'm really just giving you some ideas that may help you figure out your way. So overall, I've been working on my place for around 10 years. So here's what I have left and would like to do. There are many things inside my house, such as finishing the sheetrock on the walls, framing out the bathroom so we have some kind of privacy. I'm going to install the real maple wood floors that I have for the kitchen. Then moving outside, I'm going to go ahead and raise the house up around 18 inches so it's going to be easier to work on the plumbing under the house. I need to finish running my copper lines underground from my refurbished propane tank, and I've also got to install the 2 regulators and then running the lines into the house. I also want to build a screened-in deck on the front of my house and at some point have a well drilled. This way I don't have to always rely completely on my rain catchment system. I'd also like to buy a tornado shelter and install it in my backyard. I could use a better pond and go ahead and fix up my roads a little bit with all the shale rock that's on my property. So yeah, there's lots of improvements ahead and lots of things to maintain in the meantime. But when it's all over, I can do a garden, raise up some food, and just kick back and enjoy what I've accomplished in such a short time. I've got some new step-by-step do-it-yourself videos coming out on how to install a small budget solar system. Be sure you don't miss the video. It's going to be good for those that are wanting to install a small system in an RV, or even using this same system for a small backup in your house in case the power goes out. Also, let me know what state that you're in. I'm in Oklahoma, and the laws here seem to be a lot more laxed when it comes to off-grid living. Anyways, we'll talk to you later.